Ira Thor, on behalf of the NCAA, this is the press conference. At 165 pounds, your national champion, the #1 seed from Penn State, Mitchell Mesenbrink. Now 30-0 on a year, 58-1 in his career. The sophomore from Heartland, Wisconsin, last year's national runner-up, is this year's national champion, an 8-2 win over Mike Caliendo of Iowa, the 3rd seed. Mitchell, let's get it started with an opening comment and statement.
Yeah, I'm just really appreciative of where I'm at and the people that surround me. I said this yesterday and Carter said this, it's like a lot more than just me and him towing the line. It's pretty much, our whole life. And those are people included, and the great, men and women and your parents and your family and your friends and all the people that you surround yourself with, and that I've been so lucky that God has surrounded me with to, be able to do something like this.
We'll open up to questions from our members of the media. Please identify yourself and your outlet. Hands, please. Over here in the front, 2nd row.
Mitchell Clay Sauerteig of the Gettysburg Times. You've talked in the past about measuring your progress in terms of the process and just getting better every day. How do you measure that if it's not in the results? Like what is your measure of I've gotten better between now and last year?
Yeah, and I think even more, not even just last year, but your whole career, right? And when I was saying all that, I didn't want to go too long on what an opening comment, but I've been here so many times watching, and my dad would call them ignition events and stuff, and get me pumped to, to want to do these things and to have fun like this. And I think that right there is the epitome of what, you're not measuring your success or your development as a wrestler or a man or a human in results in a win. But each time, it was like, okay, since I was, 5, it was okay. You lost in this. Let's keep going. Maybe you won, but you can still have stuff to learn on, and that's a big thing. Like Coach Casey said to me last year, right? You don't have to lose to learn. You can keep winning, and you can learn along the way. And I'm going to keep learning from that stuff. And I think that's how you make the you can take the it's less of a quantifiable result, right? Points or first place or second place or third place. It's less quantifiable and more qualitative stuff like that, descriptions of how you're getting better as a wrestler.
Next question, right side of the room, standing.
Mitchell, Greg Pickle from Blue White Illustrated. What did you learn over the first 5 times that you wrestled Mikey Caliendo that helped you win tonight, and what was different in this match compared to some of the other ones?
I think it was less of, a specific opponent and just keep on getting better. Man, it's so awesome to be able to have those people there in your corner, like my parents and my girlfriend and my family and my siblings, and then I look over in my corner and I got the best coaches in the entire world, and it's just that's what is how I can not even make it a thing about how many times I've wrestled a guy. It's just keep getting better and better and better and better.
Next question from the 3rd row.
Nate Cobbler with the Center Daily Times. Mitchell, is this kind of a bittersweet moment for you after what you endured last year to got to the finals and you lose on that heartbreaker there to David Carr?
Yeah, I mean, it stinks. As it was written, right? That's when I lost last year. Aaron Brooks really helped me with this. I was went in the back and I was like, dude, I just can't believe it. Sometimes you get to this, I don't want to say this arrogantly, but you get to a level like this and it's almost like you feel like you were tricked when you lose. And that was what I felt like in that moment. I was like, shoot, dude, this doesn't even feel real. I felt like I was tricked, but what has happened is needed to be where I am today. And, there's really no point to keep dwelling on that. It's just, keep letting that level you up,
Next question, right side, 2nd row.
Andy Elder, Lewistown Sentinel. Mitchell, you talked about how you were appreciative of Mikey wanting to battle at the Big Ten championships, and lately he has closed the gap on you. What has changed, or what has he done to close that gap?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's much of a point to talk about other guys and what their skills. I mean, I feel like if you have a wrestling mind or you've watched enough wrestling, you kind of can watch along those times of what he was doing, and you can see, that he's done different things to try to beat me, and maybe that's not stretching himself as much. Because I can burn guys, if they're gonna try to come get me too much, right? You can make it, kind of and make it seem like you're going, but sometimes I can't get around there if it's not too far of it extended. But that's the fun part of this, is just keep on getting better and enjoying it.
Congrats on the win, Mitchell.
Thanks.
Joe Smeltzer, Nittany Sports Now. You've, in addition to being a national champion, you've built yourself a pretty good Hodge Trophy case throughout the season and kind of cemented that tonight.
Thanks.
What would it mean? You're welcome. What would it mean for you to win that honor? And obviously, you have your teammate Courage Starachi has a pretty good case too. What would it mean to see him do it after 5 years?
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I think we have to, realize a lot of this. The sweet thing about wrestling is it's not, and what I've tried to do in my whole wrestling career is take it out of the judgment of others, right? So like you can watch, and it's like you don't have to be a master referee to score my matches. You can score them off of, okay, that's a takedown. Okay, that's maybe blatantly stalling, right? Stuff like that. But what is the Hodge Trophy? Right? It's a judgment award off of people that get to vote and stuff. There's a bunch of different criteria for people to vote in that. And I think another thing that Aaron Brooks has helped me with a lot too is not being of this world. This is a very temporary existence for an eternal one. So, I'm not going to let myself be swayed or, by a judgment of however many mass of people it is. Obviously, it'd be freaking sweet. Walking into AWA, there's 2 Dan Hodge trophies sitting on the table there, and I've done that. I've seen that since 2011. So yeah, it'd be really freaking sweet to get that. But at the end of the day, it's not everything.
Brendan?
Yeah, Brendan Wagner for Onward State. Mitchell, you talked a lot this year about philosophy and psychology, and even today.
Yeah.
Was there any specific mindset that you took and that was special to this weekend to maybe help you not think about last year, just keep all those outside factors that you've been talking about kind of separate from the event in front of you?
Yeah. There's a lot of philosophical terms you can put in there, and a lot of the cardinal virtues and stoicism or Aristotle or Plato or all those guys. Like a lot of those things are courage and temperance and justice and discipline and all those things. And there's this quote, I read this book, The Wager, and it's about these seamen that circumnavigated all the way around Cape Horn and went thousands and thousands of miles. And these people were like, it's very few times does success come out of, does it not come out of? So success equals, right, like being fearless, courageous, disciplined, cunning, right, smart, and stuff like that. And I think those are things that we've seen transcend history in champions and in leaders and my my coaches and my parents and my family. There's no shortcoming to that. They're all that, and I've been able to learn that not only in a philosophy book from the leaders that moral exemplars is what it's called in philosophy. Like I have them in my life that do it.
Your question from back of the room.
Riley Holstinger with WTAJ. Congrats on the victory, by the way.
Thanks.
You talked about it early in the press conference about how you used to watch this event with your father growing up. Just tell me, what does it mean to you to finally be a national champion?
Yeah, I think the main thing, it's going to sound ironic, is that it's not all about being a national champion, right? It's about your performance, and I'm so lucky to have been brought up through AWA and most importantly my dad, and then go to Penn State, and even more so it's about performance, right? Like if I wouldn't have went out there and brought it, then honestly I'd rather lose, and I'd rather bring it losing, right? So I want to, at the end of the day, people keep asking about making the sport more likable. It's like you got to go out and get it. You got to have people that want to go out and get it. And maybe that's not just like, throw around and do, whimsical things, but being a savage and going to get and make it exciting, right? We're gladiators out there. You see how many people are watching it. Like people want to see people scrap, right? They want to see people fight. But if it's like a, 1-1 and we're just going to stand there, that kind of makes me want to puke. I don't really want to watch that.
Well, on that final note, that's Mitchell Mesenbrink of Penn State University, the 165-pound national champion for 2025.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.